Welcome to PELLY'S Lake. If you would take a walk down through PELLY'S Lake, you'd be walking through cattail plants which are 10 to 12 feet high. PELLY'S Lake, as you can see, is not really a lake. It's a massive wetland. Wetlands such as this are so important across our landscape because they're natural filters. They're natural sponges, so they collect the water, they collect the nutrients coming off the landscape. We've unfortunately lost over 70% of the wetlands across Manitoba, across Canada. It's the loss of those wetlands, these natural systems, that has really made the issues of flooding, the issues of nutrient loss, even the carbon emission issues much worse. So the way PELLY'S Lake works is it's a natural low-lying area. So the water all comes in from the far end, it collects into PELLY'S Lake, and then all that water passes out on the far end. So what's been done is there's a water control structure that was built, and that allows us to control the water flow. We can stop it in the springtime, hold on to that water, keep that water in the reservoir. We can slowly release that water when it's needed, and that helps recharge the water downstream as well during dry periods. So when you have too much phosphorus coming off the landscape, you get a lot more algae growing in our lakes and our streams, and that's what's causing the issues in Lake Winnipeg, is you have all this phosphorus coming downstream into Lake Winnipeg, and then you get those algae blooms and it washes up on the beaches and it causes issues. And what happens is, you see behind me all the lush green plants that are growing. So all that phosphorus, all that nitrogen, all the other stuff that's in there, that's food for the plants. And then the plants grow, and then later on when we can drain the site, we can actually then harvest this site to remove that material, remove the phosphorus that's taken up by the plants, and then use that material for things like sustainable energy. We've used it for livestock bedding, compost, soil applications. So all the carbon, all the material, the nutrients, that all gets put back onto the field. And that's exactly where it's needed.
Welcome to South Central Manitoba. What we do thrives on partnerships, whether it's individual partnerships with particular farmers, particular landowners, or organizations, or in the case of PELLY'S Lake, larger partnerships with multiple stakeholders. When you see projects like PELLY'S Lake that are on the larger size mixed with a lot of the smaller individual projects, and you can really notice a difference in how water moves on the landscape, and a difference in crop yields, a difference in economic benefits, and a difference in community pride. Just to say that what you're doing with your operation is benefiting you, it's benefiting your community, and it's benefiting the watershed. A lot of times individual farmers or smaller areas can get lost in a sea of big farmers, big cities, big towns, and to have someone like us here that really is geared towards individual farmers and their specific local problems, it's a huge help to these landowners.
Welcome to PURKESS Farms. Over the last quite a few years, we're not getting the snow melt runoff in the spring that we normally would count on to fill the lakes and dugouts and whatever, but we're getting more of these severe rain events, that drop us 3 inches in a half a day, and that causes problems. PELLY'S Lake Reservoir here has done wonders for us in this part of the country. And often water is a limiting factor, especially in the vegetable industry. If we could irrigate like out of PELLY'S Lake, it could boost the yield in 500 acres of crop to maybe a difference between break even and a profitable situation.
The importance of partnerships and getting people on the same page and basically aiming the same direction is huge. And it's one of the cornerstones of the Watershed District program. Just that ability to bring people together, to be that go-between between governments, whether it's municipal, federal, provincial, and the individual landowners on the ground.
We've been part of PELLY'S Lake right from the beginning, since around 2011. So to stand here 10 years later, to see how this system has expanded, to be part of many other water retention projects across southern Manitoba has been extremely rewarding. And this is what we need for the future. We've been able to understand PELLY'S Lake and show that it works. We've been able to show that these other systems work. And so now we're expanding our knowledge, our understanding. We're collecting much more sophisticated data now on how these systems work, how the water flows, how the nutrients are removed We need to see much more of these systems implemented not only in our region, but everywhere across North America, across the world.